Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jay Wallen. Today we're going to be talking about terminal tackle. Now, everybody pretty much does terminal tackle a little bit differently. I used to have my terminal tackle stored in like 6 or 7 different boxes. I had a box of swim bait jig heads. I had a box of hooks and sinkers. Maybe had some shaky heads in another box. Just had a lot of different stuff spread out over a lot of different boxes. And for me, I've sat down, I've picked up a couple of the Calcos battle boxes. Obviously, I've had this one for a while. This is a new box that I picked up. Uh, but I've actually managed to get all of my terminal tackle into these 2 boxes. And these are 2 boxes that will always go with me. They're always going to be in the boat. They fit really nice under the Pro Angler 14 seat. Now, there's a lot of different companies out there that make a terminal tackle box, but Calcos Fishing has come out with the Battle Box. This thing's only a couple years old. It's not been out that long, and I think they've really done it. They have made the best box for terminal tackle. Number one, the biggest thing, it's waterproof. It's got a gasket lining the entire lid that keeps water out, because the number one killer of your terminal tackle is going to be moisture. So they've made it watertight. And then once we get into these boxes, you'll see, but everything's kind of segregated and sealed up in their own little tubes. And it's got a great labeling system so that I can make sure I know what I've got, lets you know what you're getting low on. So without further ado, let's jump into these boxes and I'll show you guys how I've got my terminal tackle organized. All right, guys, let's get into to this battle box here. So this is going to be the terminal box that's basically reserved for jig heads. These are all the different jig heads that I've got. And I'll just start at the top here and we'll go through them and I'll show you guys exactly what I've got done here. So this tube right here, and if you're not familiar, this one's really full. But those are my Ned heads. I pretty much throw the same size. Pretty much throwing 1/4 ounce Ned heads. I know that's kind of big, but that's pretty much what I throw. I don't throw them that often anyway. So I've got my Ned heads. I've got round ball jigs, which I really don't throw too often. So I didn't take the time to separate the round ball jigs by weight. I got a little miscellaneous ammo can here. This has just got a couple little football jigs in it. Got my tube jigs for when I'm up at St. Clair dragging a tube. Again, I throw pretty much the same weight. I don't get too much into tubes. This is another little thing. These are stupid tube heads. I'm actually going to give you guys a pretty cool little secret here. Open these cans like that. So this is a stupid tube jig head. And that's for another video on another day, but that's a very special head that allows you to rig a tube a stupid way. We'll get into that some other time. So those are my stupid tube heads. Now here's where I start actually breaking things down by weight, and that's what makes the battle box so nice, is that, I have a lot of different swim bait heads. That's what I would prefer to break down into and separate by weight. You may not. You may have 5 different weights of tube jigs that you want separated out. So it's entirely customizable just for you, and this is how I've organized mine. But I got 1/8 ounce swim bait heads, 1/4 ounce swim bait heads, 5/16 swim bait heads, and 1/2 ounce swim bait heads. So those are my swim bait heads. And then moving on down, I've got the swing heads. If you don't know what a swing head is, it's just a EWG hook with like a little football jig, little swing head. So kind of like the biffle bug. I do throw those a lot, so I've got 3 different sizes here of my swing heads. And then moving along, I've got different shaky heads. These are my shaky heads. 3/8 football, 3/16 round ball, 1/4 ounce round ball, 5/16 shaky head, and then I've got some 3/8, some pretty good size stand-up shaky heads. Now these 2 bins I'll leave empty. I'm sure over time I will fill those up. I keep my underspins in this big container here. And then for some of my bigger swim bait heads and a couple miscellaneous things, Calcos has this nice little plastic box to just put some miscellaneous stuff in. So that's one half of my terminal tackle. As you can see, I've got it all laid out. And really and truthfully, this one box used to be like 4 boxes. I think I had all my swim bait heads together. The shaky heads and the swing heads were together. And then like my tubes and round balls were all together. So this was at least 3 different boxes that I've condensed down to one. Now I don't have to decide what goes, what stays at home. This whole box goes. And the, you know, like I said, it's got a rubber gasket all the way around it. So it's good and watertight. These latches, really good and snug. Those are quality latches. It's not easy to, you know, the sides are a little bit easier, but this main one in the front, it takes a little bit of pressure. So awesome terminal tackle box there. All right, guys, I don't know if you're like me, but oftentimes I end up with weights, you know, just loose weights. I'll cut off a Texas rig or a punch rig or something, change the weights, or just tie on something entirely different. And these usually end up in my tackle bin, just laying loose like this. You know, and a lot of times, I mean, I can get pretty close, but I don't know exactly what that weighs. You know, so I do, in my battle box, I like to keep everything labeled and neatly organized so that, you know, I know what weights I'm using, whether or not I'm using a 1/4 ounce or 3/8. You know, I just like to stay really organized. And something that I've done that is just really, really useful, I printed off a little fractions to decimals chart. You can get this right off the internet, no big deal. Definitely a good thing to have just in your garage or your work area. You know, these translate over to a number of uses, not just with fishing, but definitely a good little chart to have. And I've just got a little scale. It's just a little cheap scale so that I can weigh out my tungsten and I know exactly where it goes. So I'll start with this. This is a flipping bait. I already know this is kind of an odd size. This is one of my favorite weights to use on a punch rig. Let's see. So it's kind of hard to see, but it says 0.89. Now, a lot of times, you know, your weights aren't going to be exact. You know, you can have little slight variances in every weight, but 0.89, if I go to my chart and look, I know that that's a 7/8, so the 0.875 correlates to the 7/8, and so that'll go into my Calcos battle box into the 5/8 and up flipping weights. So I keep my flipping weights. They're not as organized as some of my other weights, but that'll work for that. And so we'll go to this little guy. Let's see what he weighs. Okay, 0.22. So really, I know what that is. It's actually, it should be 0.25. It just ticked up to 0.23. So slight variance there on the weight, but that's a 1/4 ounce. That's a 1/4 ounce tungsten all day long. And so I'll go to my battle box, get my 1/4 ounce tungsten ammo can out, and right back it goes. So just a neat little tool to help you guys if you're really trying to get serious about organizing your tungsten. Get you a little fractions to decimal chart, get you a little cheap scale. You know, these things are cheap, but they're actually fairly accurate. So really helps when you're trying to get serious and get very organized, you know, organize all your tungsten and all that. So let's keep going. Let's get this mess organized. Now this is the one I've been using for a while. This has got my hooks and sinkers and a couple other miscellaneous things in it. I'm probably in this one more so than I'll be in that other one. All right, so here we go. I'm going to set this box behind it so my lid stays up. All right, so as you can see up here up top, we've got the ammo pouch. That's what this is called. It's just a little canvas pouch that goes in the lining of the lid, and it's got little pockets so that you can you know, you can put your hooks in here. I've got little secret baits there. I got pegs. So that's a really nice way to keep some of the things that you use the most readily accessible. Okay, now moving on down into my ammo cans. This whole side is basically my tungsten. This is all my weights. All the way from 16th ounce, which looks like I have one left. I probably need to make a Picasso order. 1/8 ounce, I got one left of those. Probably ought to add those to the order. 3/16 green, 3/16 black, 1/4 ounce, got 1/2 ouncers. These are all worm weights. 5/16, 3/8 black, 3/8 green. These are my flipping weights, 1/2 ounce and then 5/8 and heavier. Drop shot weights. So that's all my weights over here on this side. As you can see, I've crammed I guess I've crammed a Senko tool in here. Also got a little box of, these are just leftover treble hooks. You know, I don't go through treble hooks a whole lot. I usually change my hooks out when I first get them. These are just some aftermarket treble hooks that I've picked up and I keep on hand. I'll give you guys a little secret into my tournament life here. These are 4/0 EWG hooks. Now, these are used hooks that I have taken out of these fresh packs up here and used. I save these for pre-fishing or times when I'm not fishing a tournament. These just come in really handy. You know, you cut a bait off, you don't really want to throw that hook away. It's still good. So I'll use it for pre-fishing and times when I'm not really fishing a tournament. And then when it's tournament day, you know, we reach in here and get a brand new hook every time. So, and then the used ones go in here. 5/0 hooks, same deal. These are my flipping hooks. And a lot of these are just some leftovers, mostly 5/0 flipping hooks, 4 and 5/0. But, you know, been using that jungle flipping hook a little bit. So if I'm fishing a tournament, you know, I'm going to grab a fresh one out of the pack. And then at the end of the day, when it's used, it goes in here. Just a little system that I've got. Drop shot hooks. These are little drop shot hooks. I don't throw drop shot a whole lot, but you know, wacky rigged hooks. And then this right here, I'm probably in this thing more than any other. This is like a miscellaneous junk drawer. I mean, everybody's got to have a junk drawer. There is beads and tail spinners and I mean swivels. There's all kinds of junk down in there. I probably need to go through that, but it's one of those things. I know what's in there, and if I'm looking for something specific, I know where it is in there, believe it or not. So that's my junk drawer right there. And like I said, everybody's got to have a junk drawer. In this little area right here, I keep just some random stuff, some Nico weights. Here's some more treble hooks for some of my crankbaits when I'm into changing out weights. Got some, what is that, Tokyo rig. Got a couple Tokyo rigs down in there. Got a needle here that's for, actually for fizzing bass. If you guys watch any of my videos, you know I like to fish deep. And every now and then you got to bust that out and fizz a fish or two. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that's, you know, between this box and this box, I mean, there they are. That's a lot of terminal tackle that, you know, that you can fit in 2 boxes. And both of those boxes fit right underneath my seat in the Hobie Pro Angler. All right, guys, that's it. That's my terminal tackle system. It's really clean. 2 boxes. You saw how everything was labeled. Everything's easy to get to. There's no questioning what you're getting. You know, one of the nice things about it too is, you know, like for instance, in my weight box, I only had one 16th ounce weight. I only had one 3/16 ounce weight. This kind of a system, it really lets you know what you're running low on, what you have plenty of. You know, if you need to check, do I have enough 1/4 ounce weights? Well, you can get in here and very easily pull out all of your 1/4 ounce weights in one little tube. So that just makes it really nice for me because this is stuff that I have to have. And, you know, if I'm running low on something, I need to know. So it's just a very clean way to keep all of your tackle in a pretty minimal minimal amount of space. I mean, like I said, before this, I was using 6, 7 of those little blue Plano boxes. And so I was able to condense all of that down to these 2 boxes. So pick up a Calcoast Battle box, get all your terminal tackle, and I guarantee you, your life is going to be so much easier when it comes to your terminal tackle organization. And, you know, if you're organized and you've got your stuff together, you're spending more time fishing. You're spending more time getting your baits rigged up the proper way with exactly what you need. And ultimately, it's all about putting more fish in the boat. So the less time you're messing around with terminal tackle, wondering which box is what, and you get you a system down to where you know exactly where everything is. Like right now, if I want a 1/4 ounce swim bait jig head, I know it's in this box, in this tube right here. So it's a very, very clean system, and it just makes you more efficient on the water. There's no doubt about it. So that's it. That's my terminal tackle rundown. I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps with the YouTube algorithms. It helps get people's eyes on this. And I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down there. We've got weekly content coming to you all year long for 2021. Every week, we got something new coming your way. Appreciate it. We'll catch you all on the next one.